All right, what up, everybody? This is Scottie D from FailLovers.net, and I got my longtime homie, the Rude Boy, on the other line with me. What's up, Rudy?
That's what's up. Yeah, hey, you said it. You hit the nail right on the head, man. Long-time friend, long-time homie, and, man, it feels good to be back up on Faygo Lovers. Man, nothing but love for Faygo Lovers. All these years, websites have come and gone, and guess who's still standing strong? Faygo Lovers.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that. So it's been, I think, our last interview with you was back in early 2007, after you had left Psychopathic Records the last time. So we've got a lot of stuff to cover. So first of all, I just want to say from the Juggalos, welcome back to Psychopathic and JCW. What made you decide that it was time to come back?
Well, to be honest with you, man, hey, I wanted to go out, try some ventures on my own, try some things that I wanted to do on my own. I've always, I'm an artist myself who want to create and do things and try different things. And, I went out and did a few things, and I had minimum success, but it didn't matter about the finances. It was just out there saying, can Rudy Hill do this? And Rudy Hill went out and did it. Mm-hmm. And, I got a call from Joe, and Joe and I, we hadn't spoken for a while. And, I believe that me and Joe, we have a real strange relationship, but at the end of it, it's all love. And sometimes we need a break from each other, believe it or not. And I think that we had some time to look, the bottom line is we missed each other. We missed hanging out. All of us fellas, we missed hanging out and all that good stuff. And I got a call that, hey, JCW is going to be in Taylor, Michigan. And, Jay knew that I've been actively wrestling, all the way through since I've been gone. And he said, man, wouldn't it be a great idea if you showed up at JCW? And what are your thoughts? And, there was no better time than now. I said, man, I think it would be great, but do you think people would remember? And he was like, are you fucking kidding me? Will they remember? Come on, man, of course they would. And then he says, we'll do this thing with you and Corp. Well, legitimately, that whole thing with Corp is real. Mm-hmm. I never liked him. I never did. I never trusted him. I've always told Joe and Joey, man, watch that guy. He's a fucking snake in the grass. And I'm going to tell you this, Scotty, before we go any further. This is not going to be a dump on Corp interview. It really isn't. Because, I don't feel like it needs to be done. I think the Juggalos have seen for themselves what kind of a jerk this guy is. How many Juggalos, and I know I'm jumping far ahead, but how many Juggalos did you see yourself at the gathering of the Juggalos 2012 that came up and said, fuck, this guy fucked me over, man?
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm definitely going to get into that a little bit later in the interview, but it was something I wanted to cover for sure.
Definitely, we have to cover it. I mean, it's the big elephant in the room. Mm-hmm. If we don't, then we're a bunch of assholes.
Right.
But like I said, I'm not going to make this into a pissing contest with him either, because I heard that he did some shoot interview on YouTube or whatever, and he said his version, which, hey, take it for what it's worth. All the Juggalos that got screwed over will tell you themselves how much money that guy took from them. Mm-hmm. And so, like I said, I'm not going to make this into a dump on Corp interview because I don't have to. He did it himself. Mm-hmm. But, like you said, Joe said, hey, listen, man, why don't you come back? We'll do this thing with Corp. And, I was like, you know what? Fuck it, man. Let's do it. Let's really do it. And let's do it big, And he said, I know that you wouldn't mind wrestling him. And I said, fuck no, I'd love to. Be great, And the build-up that they made around that little JCW 3-day tour, that road to BloodyMania, was so perfect, Scotty.
Yeah.
It was so perfect. People knew that we really didn't like each other. It was a known fact. So what better thing to bring into wrestling than some reality.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, wow, this is amazing, you know. And we were getting calls from different wrestling websites who didn't know who the fuck Corporal Robinson is and didn't know who the fuck Rude Boy is, but knew there's some legitimate heat going on here. What's going on? Let's cover this.
Well, you could hear it. You could hear it, especially more so in your voice than his. But you could hear the animosity, especially whenever you were on Psychopathic Radio talking about it before the gathering. It was, it was pretty apparent that there was some real live hatred going towards Corp. So,
you know, and again, you know, I don't care how many fucking times I leave Psychopathic Records. I don't care how many times I leave JCW. There's one thing that I can't leave. I cannot never leave my friends. Those guys are my friends for life, man. Mm-hmm. No matter what. And when I see from, you know, it's like when you're looking in a glass, and you're looking inside, and you're seeing something wrong going on, but you just can't really pinpoint it or put your finger on it. But you gotta warn your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just ironic, man, because this is how the Dark Carnival works. On our way down to the gathering of the Juggalos, we're hearing all this stuff on, you know, we're in the Carlito and I, we're traveling down in the shuttle van, and we're just keeping our mouth shut. You know, we're just enjoying the ride, and we're hearing from all the guys in the van. Oh my God, man! Somebody got screwed over by Corp. Oh my God, there's like 15 Juggalos waiting at the will call wanting their tickets from Corp. Blah blah blah. And I'm just sitting there and I'm saying, man, look at how the Dark Carnival works. When they reveal it, when it's revealed to the world, what kind of guy this is, and I didn't even have to say nothing. And that to me was like, wow, man, you want to talk about putting a stamp on this match, and what this means as far as my end, saying what kind of a snake this guy is, because I'll tell you what, there were several times that I would go through that warehouse when I was working there, and this guy would be stuffing his bag with jerseys and shit and saying,
wow.
Oh, well, Joe told me, and Joe said, and man, you know, that fucking thing got played out. And I'm going to tell you what, you know, that shit might have worked when Alex was there, but I know damn well that shit ain't going to work with Billy there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just how it goes. And again, Scotty, I'm sorry for jumping so far
No,
ahead.
no,
but,
you know, while we're already here, you know, let's just go ahead and jump right into it, and we'll cover everything else later. So what exactly was your first experience with Corp that kind of made you feel like he wasn't right for Psychopathic or JCW?
Well, you know, here's the deal. I was tour managing a couple of the tours, and he was out there running for Jay.
Mm-hmm.
And man, he'd be gone for hours at a time, and then all of a sudden show up, and you know, I'm like, what the fuck, where'd this guy go? And hey, whatever you do on your own time, who cares? That's between you and Jesus, and I hope that you're doing right. Whatever, it don't matter to me. But when you're on our time and shit ain't right, it's got to get right. And so that was like a red flag to me, like, wow, this guy's, man, he'd get up awful early and be gone for fucking hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, whatever. Again, this is not my business, you know. So then there'll be times, like I said, where I could see, look, Corp is a worker. That's what they call us in wrestling terms. I'm a fucking worker. A lot of the guys at Psychopathic ain't workers. So, I mean, game recognizes game. And so I would see shit like that happening, like with the jerseys and stuff like that. And, oh, man, Joe said, and this and that. And it's like, really, you know, and here's the deal. Fucking Joe is one of my best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Joe ain't telling you to stuff your fucking bag with jerseys. You know, I just know that. But anyways, little things like that would come up. And then, look, I could tell. You still there with me, Scotty?
Uh-huh, yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Oh, okay. I could tell that, look, I knew it was time for me to go. I knew it was time for me to go get my fucking batteries recharged, go away for a little while. I knew when the night that Corp won the world championship, and it was after a Hollow Wicked show in Detroit. I just got done wrestling Kamala, and Corp just got done wrestling Madman Pondo.
And that was in 2006,
and,
right?
he won. What's that?
That was in 2006, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know, he was gonna take the world by storm with JCW and blah blah blah. Well, I knew right then and there. Look, I knew he was trying to check out the size of my shoes because he wanted to get in them, and he tried to run and be in them, but he's not me. And I'm not cutting no promo right here. Listen, when Corp tried to take over my position, you can't do that because it's like fucking apples and oranges.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something. You know what? I pride myself on a lot of things, and one of them is the way I conduct myself in front of people. It definitely. I groom myself right. I try to be right with dealing with people. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not fucking there. You know what I mean? I'm just not there. And look, fact of the matter is that with Joe, Joey, Billy, all of us guys, we keep it real with one another. We do.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that when you see a guy running behind your friend saying, yep, you're right. Oh, that's the best thing since sliced bread. And you know it's not. Then you know it's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You're just a yes man. And that's definitely another flag, you know, that you would just agree with anything to make people happy, even if it's not the right thing, you know, and just to get that paycheck or whatever. That was another red flag. But again, it was not my position to say anything, and I didn't, you know, and everyone knew that I didn't like him, and you know, and a lot of people felt like, well, it's just because he's from a different place than you, and you know, you guys are totally different, how you were brought up, and hey, that might be the case. But I also know when a guy's fucking you over, and you're watching it, you know, and I hate it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, when we got this opportunity to do this match, you know, we built it really, really good, you know. And I thought to myself, wow, if this guy comes back here after being away like he has and comes back and I've been away, wow, we just might do something here. This might be exciting. This might be, you know, just what, you know, what JCW needed.
Right.
And of course, because of the circumstances that happened, Scotty, not a month before the gathering, not, you know, 2 weeks before the gathering, not even a week before the gathering, the damn weekend of the fucking gathering. Let me tell you something. And I don't know Corp's business, but I know my friends, and I know Psychopathic Records, and I know damn well they were paying that motherfucker real good to do whatever the fuck he was doing. And there was no need to go behind their backs and sell tickets or sell guest list or whatever the fuck it is, man. There's no need for that. I just know it. You know, and then we're sitting there at the gathering and all this other shit's being revealed. That the Juggalos are like, well, you know, how's Jay doing? You know, I know on that last tour he got dope sick. I'm like, dope sick? What the fuck? Well, first off, what is that? I don't know what that is.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, well, Corp said, man, if he didn't get no drugs, that he was gonna, you know, he's getting dope sick and he had to leave the tour. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
Now let me tell you something. Once again, without telling you Joe Bruce's business, the fact of the matter is Joe Bruce, does he enjoy some marijuana once in a while? Fuck yeah, he does.
Mm-hmm.
Does he enjoy having a drink with his buddies once in a while? Fuck yeah, he does. But as far as drugs and being dope sick, that right there is like, are you fucking kidding me, man?
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? Man, as good as these motherfuckers are being to you, you're going to do that? And really, man, you know, Juggalos love Joe Bruce. They love him. And no one wants to hear that, man. When you hear something like that, you're like, are you... Wow, man.
Well, and especially when it comes to somebody.
Really have problems, you know?
Yeah. Especially when it comes from somebody that's so close to the source. You know, why wouldn't you believe that? And that's the fucked up part about it.
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
That was my next point. Is that here's the guy who's side by side with this guy for the last few years. Why wouldn't you believe him?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you fucking believe him? You know, of course you'd be like, wow, you know, that's really fucked up. And when I got people coming up to me saying that shit, I'm like, listen, hey, my friend might be many things, but one thing that he isn't is a fucking drug addict.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that, you know? And that right there to me is like, wow. And all of this stuff, once again, Scotty, was revealed by the Dark Carnival at where the most precious place that the Dark Carnival would be, at the gathering of the fucking Juggalos, man. It just all came out. And unfortunately for the Juggalos that were there to see him and I get down and finally finish what we built up so well, that it was revealed before the hand. But you know what? I'm glad it's revealed. I'm glad that my friends got to see this, you know, what this guy really was capable of. And really, you know, that could really bring an individual down by saying shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And to me, that just, you know, again, I can't speak, and I'm not speaking for Joe Bruce, Billy Dale, Joe Usler, nobody. I'm speaking on behalf of myself. That's really fucked up, man. That's really fucked up. Well, and what other choice did they have than to fucking tell him he's leaving? He's done.
Right.
And they still, Scotty, after all of that shit, they still are going to let him have the fucking match.
I was about to ask you the same thing. And they still were going to pay that
motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
They still were.
So how close did it get to match time to where they pulled the plug on it?
Okay. So we're in my dressing room. Me and Jump Steady were sharing the dressing room.
Mm-hmm.
And Jump Steady says, well, I want to pull him in here because I want to know what's going on. Hey, Jump Steady ain't been with the company for a while, but I'll tell you what, he's very fucking much influential in that company.
Sure.
And he'll be a Don forever. And you know this.
Absolutely.
And on top of that, he's one of my dear friends, and he was like, listen, Rudy, you know, because I'm like, well, whatever's going to happen is going to happen, because everybody knew, okay, now it's going to become a real fight. And I'm like, you know what? It's cool if it's going to be a real fight, but damn it, man, I just don't want to go out there and say, hey, listen, we're going to work, and then I'm going to feed him my body, and he's just going to take advantage of it, because that's not fucking cool,
mm-hmm.
you know? But if you look me in the eye and say, well, hey, we're going out there and fist fighting, well, then we'll go fist fighting. Whatever happens, happens. Am I a tough guy? Fuck no, I'm not a tough guy. But will I fight you? Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? You know? I mean, you know, stranger things have happened. So anyways, we pull him into the dressing room, and they're going over everything with him about the match. And he seems totally cool with it. And and by the way, this is 25 minutes before we go live on pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, fuck it, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to lay down for Rudy. I'm not going to do it. And I'm like, well, whatever, man. You know, me, one way or another, I promise you this, Scotty. I promise you can ask Joe Bruce. You can ask Kevin Gill. You can ask any of those guys that were there. I said, fuck it, I'll lay down for him. What do I care?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I'll lay down for him. But it's not going to be a loser leaves psychopathic match if I lay down for him, because I'm here. You know, I mean, come on. And like I said, even up until match time, they were going to pay this guy. They were going to fulfill their obligation, even though he screwed them over so fucking bad. They were going to fulfill their obligation and say, all right, hey, let bygones be bygones. You go away. We don't want to see you no more. And that's it. It's over with.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I will not do that because that wasn't the original plan. Well, the original plan was we didn't know you were fucking everybody over like that either.
Sure.
You know, so, I mean, of course, the original plan goes right the fuck out the door.
Right.
You know, when you got, the sad part is, Scotty, when you got Juggalos who drove from Nebraska, from Texas, even as close as Chicago, and they're standing there with a dumb look on their face at will call saying, well, we sent this guy $100, and, you know, and let me say this while we're on that subject. Those ones who did that, hey, you kind of deserve it. You kind of deserve it if you're going behind the company's back to save some money. And look, we live in the age of 2012. I understand everybody needs to save a buck here and there, but sometimes it may be just too good to be true. And this time it was too good to be true. Mm-hmm. But guess what? Billy Dale made the executive decision and said, you know what? Fuck it. Let them in, man. Let them in.
See, I didn't know what happened with those people.
We're not going to make these guys pay.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
I didn't know what happened with the people that got screwed over, so that's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, it's
just like, before you go on, though, in their defense, I know that Corp has been selling tickets for years, gathering tickets for years, and nobody, and everybody just kind of thought, well, that must be the kind of deal that they've got worked out with Psychopathic, because, you know, what? How else could he get away with it? You know, and he's been getting, and so I think this is just the year that he got caught up with it, because I mean, I don't know what the numbers were, how many people were supposed to be on the guest list, but I know there were several dozen at least. I've heard up to hundreds, but I'm not sure if that's the case.
Well, here for this year, and again, I can't speak for past years or whatever, but when we pulled up to the gathering, they said every wrestler, there is no guest list this year. Mm-hmm. Before I even traveled down to Cayman Rock in the shuttle, you know, I was thinking, you know, maybe I'd bring a friend or I'd have someone meet us there, and the policy was there is no guest list this year. Hey, you know, Scotty, as well as I do, what that costs to put that thing on. And you know, I don't know if you know this, but Psychopathic Records loses their ass every single year on that gathering.
Yeah, that's what they've always claimed.
But it's still for the love of the Juggalos that they keep it fresh, keep it going, keep it bigger and going. And man, when you got one of your fucking right hand men doing you like that, it's terrible, man. It's terrible.
It's ridiculous.
Terrible. Yeah. It's so terrible. But again, like I said, and really, I mean, I don't have to sell you this, because I'm sure you're going to get in the comment boxes, you're going to get in your inboxes, your tweets, all these Juggalos that are going to say, "Yup, he fucked me. He did me."
It's already happened. It's already happened.
Oh, because I'm saying, you know, when he went on that YouTube thing and said, "Oh, they're all lying," and some chick did it, and come on, man, come on, it's over with. It's done. It's really done, and just, I mean, the best thing to do is just let it go, because you got caught and it's done. Mm-hmm. You know, but like I said, and I was willing to do the match. I didn't care. I'm like, fuck it. We'll do the match. It'll be great, man. Are you kidding me, Scotty? We pull into the fucking gathering. There's a 50-foot poster of both of us everywhere.
Yep.
Fucking, man, let me tell you something. If that don't show you love by that company, then fuck you. You're an asshole. Because when I pulled in there, I didn't even know that they were making those giant banners all around. I pulled in and Carlito was like, "Damn, Dad, look at that's you." I'm like, holy shit. We open up the gift bag, and of course there's the postcards for the match, and then inside the booklet. Man, come on, man, come on. And that wasn't just for Rude Boy, let me tell you that. That was for Corp, too, because he had been away. And they were trying to show him, hey, look, you got love right here. And you know, sometimes, man, you take advantage of it, and you get caught. And there you have it.
Absolutely. Well, hey, man, before we move on, is there anything else you want to say about that whole situation anything to Corp, or because you know he's going to be listening?
I know he's going to be listening. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something right now, here and now. This will be the last time I want all Juggalos to hear me. All Juggalos. You will not hear me comment about this ever again. I did it right here with Scottie D, and you'll never hear it again. So if you see me at a gathering, or you see me at a show, or you see me at JCW or something, don't ask me what's up, what happened, because I'm not going to comment on it no more. I've given this guy enough free plugs for him to wrestle on all the little independent shows he likes. I'm done with it. Now, look at the facts, and you decide who fucked who. Because when he claimed that Psychopathic was fucking him over, like I said, look at the facts. Again, Scotty, nowhere else will you hear me mention him, but right here. This is it. I'm done.
Well, we appreciate that, Rudy, man. It's always good. Always good hearing, giving you a place to get things off your chest. So, let's move on. And so tell me, when you were off the label for, I guess it was the better part of 5 years. What I know you were into you had your international big time wrestling that you were doing. What else did you do?
Mm-hmm.
What else did you do to fill your, as a job and to fill your spare time?
Well, I'll tell you what. Several things happened to me. Well, I lost both my parents, which really sucked bad.
Oh man, I'm
it
sorry.
sucked bad. It hit me really hard. Especially with my mom, and you know the story. You know the mom song and how much my mother meant to me, and that really hit me hard. That happened in my life. Of course. Like you said, we had the International Big Time Wrestling, and we still have it. We still do charity shows and stuff, and we put on events for high schools and stuff like that. And I'll tell you what, though, once I hit that JCW ring, it felt good to let loose rude boy style, and because in IBW, you can't, well, you can do it, but it's not protocol with us. And it felt good to be myself. When we were doing the JCW matches. And
so
stuff.
IBW was
by the way,
more
can I get
PG.
right back to the gathering real quick for 2 seconds?
Sure.
So then I got put in that match, that battle royal, with all those fucking WWF guys, Carlito and Chris Masters and Bobby Lashley and all those guys. And let me tell you something, those guys were a bunch of fucking assholes, man. Those guys were a bunch of assholes. They hated the fact. They hated the fact that there was someone over more than they were who is nobody in their world. They hated it. And they took full advantage of it. As you can see, if you go ahead and look back and watch the tape or whatever, you see an ass whipping given out by those guys to Rudy. That's all I'm going to say about that. And again, I want to apologize to the Juggalos that were in the house that stayed that extra day to see that match, because several of them said, you know what, fuck that, we were going to leave, but we want to see you wrestle, man. And I didn't get to have my match. That's not my match. Being in there in a battle royal, getting beat up by some fucking monsters.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyhow, I wanted to go back to that. Jumping back to the question that you said, of course, I've been DJing. I never stopped DJing. Me and Carlito in Detroit for a year, we had a show called Cruising the Barrio. And what it was, Carlito, he's really into like the lowrider clubs and cars and shit, And he's been listening to a lot of internet radio from California. And he was like, man, there's nothing like that in Detroit, man. So we went to a radio station, and WHPR in Detroit, and we went to them and we said, hey, we got this idea, blah, blah, blah. And they said, okay, well, let's put you on Saturday nights. Let's see. First, they put an audition. They said, well, how are you going to be in front of a mic? They asked me. I was like, I think I'll be all right.
Right.
Well, okay, we'll give you an audition. They did an audition for us. They put us on Saturday nights from 10 to midnight, Detroit time. And it was phenomenal. It was great, but we just didn't have the advertisers that backed us up. So after me putting out the money week after week out of my own pocket, we finally had to put a close to it. But, you know, working with my best friend like that, man, my partner, my son is great, man. And he's just, wow, he's amazing. He amazes me all the time, man, by his talents. And and on top of that, in between those years that I've been away, the 5 years, you know, Carlito, he's the Michigan Junior Olympics champion for boxing.
Wow.
You know, 16 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, out of 700 kids, he won the gold.
Wow. Congratulations to him.
And he's won the silver gloves, and he's won the golden gloves. So, you know, he's got his own goals and stuff that I've been trying to help him with. And it looks as though in January we're going to be taking him down to Mexico because he's going to turn pro. And
damn, that's huge, man.
We're only taking him to Mexico because in the United States we can't have him turn pro here until he's 18, and he's just going to be he's 16 right now, and everybody's like he's ready. So this is what he wants to do, and hey, who am I to shit on anyone's dreams, man? As much of a dreamer as I am.
Sure.
You know?
Wow. Well, congratulate him from all of us, please.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, he's a good fucking fighter. That's all I really could say, you know. And I'm not just saying that because he's my son. Because if he was the shits, then I'd tell you, he's not boxing no more.
Mm-hmm.
But so we got that going on. We've been doing, you know, DJing at clubs and stuff. Once we did the radio show, we got gigs at clubs and stuff like that and stuff. So we just been super busy. And but you know, after getting that call from Joe and being back with the Juggalos, man, it was like, you know, it's like a story that's untold. It's not done yet. It's not done yet, you know. And right now, I'll be honest with you, Scotty, I'm on the eve, right now, tonight, as we're speaking, we're on the eve of me having a really big meeting with Billy and Joe and Joey tomorrow about what they want or what they're looking for with Rudy. And I'm excited, man. And I'm on the phone with you, and my mind is going a million places, and I'm excited, you know, because where else do I want to be? You know, I went through that gathering, and I said, I even told Carlito, I said, I wonder if people are going to remember me, man.
Oh, you know it. You know it.
The love was just amazing, you know. And I miss it. You know, I really miss it. And let me tell you something. I made a vow to myself this year. I've taken a new leaf on life. And I was like, I'm not going to be the old school rude boy asshole that I used to be. I'm not going to, when people say, hey, Rudy, will you take a picture with me or blah, 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 I'm not going to drive off like I'm some fucking superstar that I'm not. I'm humble. And I'm humbled at the fact that anybody wants a photo or wants my signature or even just wants to have a beer with me. And I made it pretty evident this year by everyone who wanted to ride on the golf cart or anything. We stopped for everyone. And you know what? Because that's how I'm living. I'm honored that anyone wants to be around me, and I'm thankful for it.
You know, man, and you say that, I don't know if you felt like you were that way in the past, but man, I've never got the cold shoulder from you. So maybe you were to other people, but I never saw that. So, but you were definitely every fucking where at the gathering. We saw you, you know, zooming by on that golf cart. I can't tell you how many times. So, so
you know, I was just trying to take it all back in, and I was catching up with old friends. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I mean, I got the opportunity to hang out with Wolfpack again. You know, those guys, they do nothing but just, seriously, they just show love, you know, and, you know, guys like that, having in my life means a lot to me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like yourself, you know, seeing you, Scotty, all the good, great things that's happened to you, man. Fuck, just catching up with that. Kevin Gill, seeing my boy KG. God, man.
Yeah, that's my homie,
you know,
too.
all of that means something to me, man, you know. And the new Juggalos, the new breed, the new generation, that were showing love. I'm like, wow, this is great. And those Juggalos, I want them to know, oh, Rude Boy, man, he ain't no asshole. He's all right. That guy's all right.
Yeah, no doubt. So why do you, just after having such a high this year at this year's gathering, and I mean, I don't think that you ever had a bad time at a gathering that I know of, but why do you think that you've got such kind of an on again off again relationship with Psychopathic?
You know, like I said earlier, you know, every so often in my life, and you know, now that I'm an older gentleman. Wow, I can't believe I just called myself an older gentleman. Now that I've gotten older, and I've gotten a lot wiser, you know, sometimes you feel like the grass is greener on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like, wow, you know, you can do better than where you're at, and you take things for granted, you know. And I'm not gonna fucking sit here and feed you any bullshit, Scotty. When Joe was like, hey, man, let's sit down and talk about bringing you back because, man, we sure would love to have you back. Two things came to mind. One, my heart was warmed by that. Very fucking warmed by that.
Mm-hmm.
And two, and I said it to his face, how could you bring me back? The way I left you high and dry, how could you? How could you?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? He looked me in my eyes and said, because I love you, man. And, you know, like I told Jump Steady the same thing. I was like, yo, man, I don't know what it is, man, but it's definitely love. Because I'm going to tell you what, I wouldn't bring me back. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
but
but you guys are family, man. That you guys have known for each other for, God, since you were how old?
Since, well, I was 13 years old.
Right, yeah. So that goes a long, long way.
It sure does. It sure does. But you forget about it, you know, when time passes. And when something, a gesture of, fuck, you can help this company go further. When you hear that gesture about yourself, because I'm going to tell you what, with me or without me, Psychopathic's going to go and they're going to be successful and that's it. But when you're being told you can bring something to the plate, man, that warms your heart, man. You know, and it makes me feel bigger than life. I can't lie. You know, Scotty, I'm on a high right now by the way my life is going, man. I really am. I haven't been this happy, and I can't tell you how long.
Man, that's great.
And you know, you could sit there and, you know, people could say, well, Juggalos, ha ha ha, it's a big funny joke or whatever. Man, it really fucking means something to me, man. It really does. And you know what? I even took it for granted, like, whatever, you know. But in my heart, it means something to me. It really does, you know. And I'm glad that I've seen that now. You know, before God forbid, you know, it was time for me to leave this earth. You know, I love knowing that, look, I still matter to people. You know, I still matter. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that's all that a man could ask for.
So let me ask you this. So I know everything judging, you know, it's all dependent on what you know, what your meeting is with Psychopathic tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see yourself working long term with Psychopathic then? If they should they ask?
I'll tell you what. I'll be totally honest with you, man. I can't see myself not being there long term. I can't see myself. I cannot see myself going to that office tomorrow and walking away saying no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see myself doing that. I've talked to my family about it all weekend long. All weekend long. That's all the topic of discussion has been. You know, and it's like I cannot see myself fulfilling this thing, man. Because once again, I don't want to go through life saying, damn, I wonder what would have happened or what could have happened. I want to finish this fucking roller coaster and see what's going on at the end of the tunnel. I want to see this I want to see my 6 Jokers card.
No doubt, man. So hey, let me ask you. You've talked a lot about your son Carlito. He said he was 16.
Yes.
Was this his first gathering?
No, this is actually his second gathering.
Oh, really? What was his first?
His first gathering was when they brought me back to wrestle at Zulu the Butcher a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, whoa, he lost his fucking mind then.
Yeah, he's a little older now, so I was just curious what he thought of it.
I'll tell you what, and again, I'm just speaking for him, but and you can follow him on Twitter, and he'll tell you all about it too. But I'll tell you right now, he has so much love for the family, because this is all he's ever known all his life, except for a few years that I've been away.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he's ever known was the Juggalo lifestyle. And so for him to come back to it and to see, like, we're driving through and we're stopping at all the campsites and everything, and he's like, you know what's great, Dad? And I'm like, what? He says, man, look at people feeding each other, making sure that, look, man, that if they got a fan plugged into a generator, that they're using it for everybody around them. I mean, hey, look, sharing their beers or whatever they're partaking in. It's a real community.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
To him, that blew him. That right there was like, wow, man, this is what I need to be a part of. And look, is my son a saint? Fuck no, he's not no saint. He's my son. And the apple don't far fall from the tree, I'll tell you that. But he also knows that there are some boundaries where he's not going to fuck up his future either.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't diss nobody by that, because he's like, you know what? Hey, live your own trip, live your own dream, live your own shit. Me, there's some things I just don't do, But I'll tell you what, man, after him seeing, and really him seeing his Uncle Joe, that's what he calls Joe. And he's like, and the love that was shown when he got to the gathering, and the first thing they said is, hey, Carlitos, come on in here. Come into the office. And he's like, whoa, okay. And they present him with jerseys, Mighty Death Pop jerseys with his name on them.
Oh, nice.
So he's like, what? He's like, are you kidding me, man? And they're like, well, yeah, your family, right? You're a part of this, right? And he's like, wow, man, you actually thought of me. Shit like that really touches his heart.
That's awesome. Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, man. Oh. And then when, guys like Madman Pondo, Necro Butcher, and all those guys, they're all like, hey, Carlito, and they're like, he's like, wow, they remembered me, man. They remembered me. Of course they fucking remember you, And that means something to him,
Definitely.
And so his whole gathering experience, I can say, without him being here, he enjoyed it 100%, and he didn't want it to end. He didn't want it to end.
Him nor I both, man.
Man, me neither, man. Oh, we're driving back on that 12-hour fucking drive, and the whole time, man, I just got a smile from ear to ear, man. I'm just like, and I also had a lump in my throat too, man, like, and some tears in my eyes, saying, wow, I just pray that I get to see these people again next year, man.
Mm-hmm.
I just pray that, that God's will, that I'll wake up every day so I can come back,
So let me ask you this. You talked to me briefly about it at the gathering. I don't know if it's for public consumption yet, but you mentioned you and Carlito doing a psychopathic radio show soon.
Yes, and really, to be honest with you, I can tell you this. We shot some promos for it. We did a few things for it. Tomorrow, after this meeting, I'll know more about it.
Okay.
So I really can't say that, because up until that point, we were ready to roll. Boom,
Mm-hmm.
We're ready to go. But now, with this upcoming meeting and stuff, I don't want to jump the gun right now, so to speak. But what it's going to be is it's going to be the version of our radio show that we had here in Detroit, but to the Juggalos all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And really, our whole thing is, it's all old school hip hop, old school shit like that, like shit that you won't hear on the radio. You know, if you were at the concert the other night in Detroit, the Ice Cube, you'll hear a lot of that shit that you heard that night. And we'll be having special guests on our show and stuff. Once again, that all depends on if after tomorrow that's what they want. Because I'll tell you what, I know Rudy and Carlito are ready to roll.
Hell yeah, that'll be a good addition, no doubt. All right, so I know that you, again, a lot depends on what happens tomorrow. But what do you see your status at JCW being? Are you going to be just kind of resuming the role that you had prior to leaving, or what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'll tell you what. JCW, man, means a lot to me. You know, it's on my heart. But I don't think you'll see it as much of an active role at JCW with Rude Boy as you may suspect. I really don't think so. I think Kevin Gill, I think they're happy with the things that he's doing. I think him and Joe Bruce working side by side the way they are. I think that that they're putting out a great product. And, you know, hey, look, I'm not a spring chicken anymore either. You know, will I be wrestling for that? Of course I will. But will it be as a bigger part as what you may think? Probably not. Probably not. Look, this is a young man's world, and I don't jump off of scaffolds and stuff like that. You know, I that's not what I do. You know. And when they're ready and they need some Rude Boy match, they'll get it, and I'll be there to give it to them 100%. But will it be in a capacity as it used to be? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. And let me tell you this, Scotty. Believe me, brother, when I tell you this, there's no hard feelings at all about it. I mean, this ain't nothing where it's like we don't want you or nothing. But hey, look. Like I said, I know this is a young man's sport, and sometimes you got to let them young men go do their things. And if they have Rude Boy on a big BloodyMania, or they have me on a Hollow Wicked show or something, I'm content with that. Mm-hmm. I'm content with that, because I don't know if I could do 6 nights a week on a JCW tour.
No doubt. Yeah, I was going to ask you if how much longer you thought you could take the punishment of being a wrestler, but I guess you just answered my question. So
pretty much.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, hey man, we've been talking for the better part of an hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and call this an interview. So, you have any parting words? You have any promo? Anything else that you want to say?
Yes, I do. I got a couple things I want to say.
Okay.
One thing that I want to say is, all the Juggalos out there, it's real fucking important that you do this, man. Go to your fucking voters' booth in November. You got to do it. Because I'm going to tell you what, if you don't do it, and the guy that doesn't get in there that should be in there, don't bitch about it. Well, it don't matter who your preference is, but don't bitch about it and cry about it unless you went there and pulled that fucking lever. Because you know what? Even though we're Juggalos, we still have a fucking say-so in this world. And use your fucking rights to do that. Get out there and do that. Second thing I want to tell you is that, man, make sure that you take care of yourselves as well. Go out, get your fucking doctor's checkups. Because I'm going to tell you what, man, when I found out I was a diabetic, man, I was on my way to be in a coma. And you know what? I found out early enough, early detection. And, look, I'm still here. That's real important, too. And then the last thing, there was one more thing I wanted to tell you guys. I forgot what the fuck I wanted to tell you. But anyways, like I said, though, it's real important. Oh, this is the last thing and the most important thing. Just like Jay said, we don't have to fucking lay down for nobody. You understand? Fight for your fucking rights. It's your fucking opportunity as an American citizen. Fucking fight for your rights. Just like we ain't sitting back watching the FBI just roll over Psychopathic. Because I'm going to tell you what, that day at that fucking seminar, I stood side by side with my boy when he said, look, we're going to fight this and we're going to see it through, and whatever happens, happens. Once again, Juggalos, don't let no one walk over you. You're fucking better than that. And let me tell you one last thing, Scotty.
Yeah.
Years ago, Jay said, Juggalos are going to take over the world. Now, let me tell you something. In the past few years, have you watched Saturday Night Live?
Of course.
Okay. So you've seen the skits about The Gathering and all that stuff.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You've seen Tosh.0. You've seen all these different fucking media things, these writers and everything, writing positive stories about ICP and about Psychopathic Records. You want to know why? Because years ago, the one and only, the Duke said it. I'm talking about Joe Bruce. He said it. One day we're going to fucking take over the world. And guess what? That day is here. That fucking day is here. Scotty, I love you. Fago lovers, I love you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
And I'll be calling you with an update on what's happening with this meeting in a couple days.
Oh, please do. Well, there you have it, Juggalos and Juggalettes. That was the Rude Boy, and this is Scottie D. We're signing off, so thanks for tuning in to FagoLovers.net, and peace out.